I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. The trumpet will be blown. That is the day of threat. The blowing of the trumpet is the herald that the hour of the day of judgment promised by Allah in the Quran has come. That sound is the end of the life of this world and the beginning of the hereafter. People who are aware of what they will see on this great day and who are warned that they will have to account for themselves will now be confronted by the promised truth. The sound which they will hear at an entirely unexpected moment will bear no resemblance to any sound ever heard before. People will realize that the span allotted to them has come to an end. This sound heralds the fact that a troubled day has begun, when those who have deviated into unbelief will experience eternal fear, terror, and woe. In His verses, Allah tells us that, I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. For when the trumpet is blown, that day will be a difficult day, not easy for the unbelievers. It is absolutely certain that someone who hears the sound of the trumpet while on their way to work in the morning, or someone who hears it when preparing to go to sleep, having postponed all his desires and expectations until the following morning, will have absolutely no way out. The order they wished to maintain, and they themselves have come to their final moments. This majestic truth they refuse to believe in, despite actually being well aware of it, has finally caught up with them. Throughout his life, someone who sought refuge in false powers that he thought could protect him now has no one from whom he can seek help, and nowhere to hide. Apart from believers, everyone will be in the same condition. They have despairingly submitted to what has befallen them, and all the people who have ever lived will be gathered together in the sight of Allah. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. The trumpet will be blown, and at once they will be sliding from their graves towards their Lord. For a denier, the sound of the trumpet means facing the truths he has avoided throughout the course of his life. It also expresses the moment when there is no longer any possibility of making up for his misdeeds. The fear felt at that moment is indescribable. Terror and panic that have never been seen or heard before are experienced. All mistakes made in this world can be made good, or these errors may be forgotten with the passing of time. Yet this sound, which announces that all things have now come to an end, also heralds the fact that there is now no time left to rectify the mistakes that have been made. The sound of the trumpet on that day will instill great fear into deniers, and all people will bow their heads to this truth, by which they are confronted. Allah reveals this in the Quran. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. On the day the trumpet is blown, and everyone in the heavens and everyone on the earth is terrified, except those Allah wills, everyone will come to Him abject. The fact is, however, that everyone has previously been reminded of this before the day they are now facing. Allah has warned people, by means of His verses and His messengers, on the subject of turning to Him before a day from which there is no return dawns, and has revealed that there can be no help after death for those who behave differently. The regret that will be felt by someone who is confronted by torment at an unexpected moment, and the fact that no help will be forthcoming, are described as follows in the Quran. I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. Turn to your Lord and submit to Him before punishment comes upon you, for then you cannot be helped. Follow the best that has been sent down to you from your Lord before the punishment comes upon you suddenly when you are not expecting it. The life of this world, preferred for the sake of temporary advantages, has now come to an end with the sound of the trumpet. Everyone is now confronted by what has been promised. The fear and terror awoken in people by the reality of what has taken place are very great. Everyone heeds the same call and realizes that they are faced by a truth from which there is no way back. This is a very momentous day, and the trumpet is merely a herald of the events that will take place.